Meow. Hello, my dear friends of Golden Chonk. Tonight, as the moonlight spills its silver over quiet rooftops and ancient stories stir in the gentle wind, let us settle in for a tale, one both sad and strange, echoing the strength and weakness found in every human heart, even the hearts of emperors. Imagine yourself walking Rome's ancient stone streets in 67 AD. The night sky sparkles above, a cool breeze whispers among mossy tiles. Suddenly, you see him, Emperor Nero, the world's most powerful man, strolling arm in arm with a breathtaking new wife. Her beauty turns heads, but an uneasy chill lingers in the air, for all of Rome knows the truth. This woman was once a boy named Sporus, and her story is one of sorrow and cruelty. Sporus, perhaps an unfamiliar name, but his story will linger with you long after tonight. Before he was drawn into tragedy, let us consider the one who drew him in. Nero was not born a monster. When he became emperor at only 16, people hoped for a golden age. He reduced taxes, sponsored grand performances, and won the people's love. But absolute power, it can twist even the brightest soul. By 65 AD, something had cracked deep within him. Was it paranoia, the constant fear of betrayal? Or was it loneliness, the suffocating isolation of being emperor, above contradiction, beyond challenge? Or was it the loss of the only person he claimed to love, his wife, Poppaea Sabina? She was not only beautiful and clever, but matched his ambition and shared his dreams. Where his first wife, Octavia, was reserved, Poppaea was vibrant, a true partner, but also a dangerous obsession. Nero's passion for Poppaea became all-consuming. He divorced and exiled Octavia, married Poppaea in a lavish ceremony, and showered her with treasures from every corner of the empire. He watched her, isolated her, remade the world to keep her close. His love became possession, his devotion a prison. Poppaea understood the power and peril of her position. She promoted her family, built alliances, but crucially, she was not afraid to challenge Nero, even to mock him. This independence in the end proved fatal. One day, an argument escalated. Poppaea, pregnant with their second child, dared to criticize Nero's priorities. In a fit of rage, he struck her. Some say a single blow, others a prolonged attack. She died within hours, along with their unborn child. In that moment, the emperor who commanded armies, who was worshipped as a god, destroyed the only thing he truly loved. Nero's grief became madness. He refused the Roman funeral rites, embalmed her body, built her a mausoleum fit for a goddess, and spoke to her corpse as if she still lived. The court joined his delusion, leaving her seat empty at banquets, speaking of her in the present tense for fear of exile or death. It was then that Sporus entered Nero's gaze. A young freedman, perhaps 14 or 15, Sporus grew up in the palace and owed everything to imperial favor, a privilege but also a trap. What caught Nero's shattered mind was Sporus's face, a haunting resemblance to the lost Poppaea. For a man who had convinced himself he was a god, this likeness was an omen, a chance to undo the irreversible. The obstacle, Sporus was male, hardly mattered. Nero ordered physicians to surgically alter the boy, not merely to dress him as a woman, but to erase who he was. The procedure was dangerous, agonizing, and irreversible. If Sporus survived, he would never again be regarded as himself, but as an object of the emperor's will. Once recovered, Sporus was renamed Sabina and prepared for marriage to Nero. Seamstresses and jewelers transformed him. Makeup artists and tutors taught him the gestures, the walk, the voice of a Roman empress. Every lesson, every ornament, another chain binding him to a role he never chose. The marriage was held with imperial splendor, flowers, music, sacred rites. To outsiders, a spectacle. To those who knew, a moment of horror. Nero treated Sporus as his wife, his living Poppaea. Every day, Sporus performed under constant threat, forced to embody memories and emotions that were never his own. Ancient sources say he became skilled at this deception, but grew ever quieter, ever more withdrawn. For more than 2 years, Sporus lived this life, his true self buried beneath layers of forced femininity and imperial fantasy. When Nero's reign collapsed amid revolt and betrayal, Sporus fled with him, still bound to the man who had erased him. After Nero's death, Sporus became a pawn, passed between powerful men, forced to relive his trauma for their amusement. Finally, facing the ultimate humiliation, public degradation in the Colosseum, Sporus took the only choice left to him. He ended his life no older than 20, reclaiming in death the agency denied him in life. His story is rarely told for who he was, but rather as a symbol of imperial excess. Yet what haunts us is not just the cruelty he endured, but the way his identity was systematically stripped away, made into a canvas for someone else's madness. In choosing his own end, Sporus reclaimed the smallest spark of self, a final act of defiance. We know almost nothing of his hopes, his dreams, the life he would have chosen. All that remains is the echo of his suffering, a reminder that behind every tale of power and glory, there are individual stories of pain and resilience that deserve to be remembered. So now, as you drift towards sleep, let the memory of Sporus remind you, no matter how dark the night, there is always a spark of choice, a flame of resilience within. Good night, dear friends. Dream gently and know you are seen. Meow.